What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, let's go ahead and talk about this article. Everybody else has been talking about it. I know I'm a little bit late, but I'm glad you guys are hanging with me because I got thoughts. I got a lot to say about what's happening with the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now. And, honestly, the big issue, in my opinion, is how pathetic it's gotten for Marvel and how desperate they are. They have gotten absolutely desperate with trying to fix this thing. Instead of doing the one thing that everybody agrees would work, which is absolutely tell compelling stories, push your ideology aside, push your messages aside, push your agendas aside, focus on the story, focus on the characters, focus on entertainment. That's all you got to do, Marvel. But even within this article, they're talking around that situation. They're not talking about addressing the elephant in the room. Hey, we got to get this ideology out of the content because people ain't checking for that no more or at all. I don't know if anybody was ever interested in pushing feminist ideology and all of that kind of stuff into Marvel, but that's what they chose to do in phase 4 and phase 5, and it's led them to this. It's absolutely amazing, but yeah, here we are. Crisis at Marvel. Jonathan Majors backup plan. So yeah, they got issues with Jonathan Majors. That's kind of an aside, honestly. That's something that Marvel can't control, but nevertheless, that's an issue. The Marvel reshoots, that's absolutely an issue because again, if you get the ideology out of your mix, then all of a sudden you're just focused on telling good stories. Then you don't have to do dozens and dozens of reshoots trying to fix your trash film. Oh no, it worked out the first time or maybe the second time, and now we just got to do a little cleanup in post. We're good. But when you're pushing ideology, then it's like, all right, reshoot, nope, reshoot it again. No, it still ain't working. Try it again, reshoot it some more. Why? Because you're trying to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. You ain't got enough king's horses and king's men to do that. It's broken. You can't do it because you broke it from the very beginning. It's a broken record. You can't fix it. It's over. Throw it in the trash. That's basically what it is, right? Reviving original Avengers, which is the absolute most pathetic thing I've ever heard. And I got a lot to say about that. And more issues revealed. Let's go ahead and jump into this article, man. This is a doozy. So I like how this thing starts off. It says, in September, we had a group of Marvel creatives, including Kevin Feige, assembling in Palm Springs for the studio's annual retreat. It's like one of them places they go, they hang out, they do a whole lot of high five and backslapping. Yeah, good job, you guys. We did it again. Once again, Marvel on top. That's what they do with these little annual retreats. A huge celebration. Most years, the vibe would have been confident, even cocky, given how the premier superhero brand owned by Disney since 2009 has remade the entertainment business in its image. See, they were cocky, okay? Cocky. Keep that word in mind. We're going to come back to that. But this occasion was angst-ridden. Everyone at Marvel was reeling from a series of disappointments on screen, a legal scandal involving one of its biggest stars, and questions about the viability of the studio's ambitious strategy to extend the brand beyond movies and into streaming. Most of the issues were about Jonathan Major, the actor who has been poised to carry the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but instead is headed to a high-profile trial in New York this month on domestic violence charges. The actor insists he is the victim, but the damage to his reputation and the chance he could lose the case has forced Marvel to reconsider its plans to center the next phase of its interlocking slate of sequels, spin-offs, and series around Major's villainous character, Kang the Conqueror. Yeah, honestly, I felt like Kang the Conqueror was kind of a villain anyway. He's an all right villain. He's not something I feel like they should really try to center anything around. But yeah, look what they said here. At the gathering in Palm Springs, executives discussed backup plans like pivoting to another comic book adversary like Doctor Doom. Look, I have been saying from day fucking one that they should have went directly to Doctor Doom or at least to Fantastic Four. Before they get away from this, right after Endgame, get away from the Avengers, just get right into the Fantastic Four. Jump right into the Fantastic Four. If you've been watching my channel, you've heard me mention this. And they would have been able to bring in Doctor Doom that way. And Doctor Doom, in my opinion, was the villain that they should try to introduce in these phases, especially if you're doing Secret Wars to end it. It didn't make any sense why Doctor Doom hasn't been introduced all the way up until now. So again, it just shows you these guys didn't really have a plan. They were jumping all over Kang, and it's like Kang is just all right, in my opinion. Doctor Doom is compelling. He's like one of the greatest comic book villains of all time for people that don't read a lot of comic books. So it's like, why wouldn't you use Doctor Doom after you got through with Thanos? Did a good job with Thanos, by the way. But why wouldn't they jump straight to Doctor Doom? I have no idea. Making any shift would carry its own headaches. Majors was already a big presence in the MCU, including as the scene-stealing antagonist in February's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and he's been positioned as the franchise's next big thing in this season of Loki, particularly in the finale, and he's got his own film, obviously, in 2026. Marvel is truly fucked with the whole Kang angle, says one top deal maker who has seen the final Loki episode. Yeah, look, I mean, we already knew that this was going to be a huge problem once it happened. We talked about it from day one. And all credit to Marvel, honestly, for not shit canning them like everybody else did. But at the same time, it's like, Marvel, you know how it gets down in Hollywood, especially when there's DV charges. You got to make a move. Everybody else has pulled the plug on them. Even Disney themselves, your parent company, has already pulled the plug on one of his films that was supposed to come out in December. They already like, nah, we going to push that off. We ain't really sure when that's going to come out yet. That Magazine Dreams film. So if they've already done it, you know, again, I think it's a wrap. I think Jonathan Majors, I think his career is in absolute trouble, you know, for the foreseeable future. You know, maybe in 5 years or something, he comes out on the other side of this thing and it's all right. But right now, yeah, nobody wants to see this guy, especially all of the woke people that you guys try to virtue signal to. Oh, they're going to be pissed off, especially when the details of all this stuff that's, you know, in his case, especially when that stuff starts getting broadcast wide and far. And again, I'm not claiming he's innocent or guilty or anything. I don't know. But a lot of the details that's been kept under wraps that we've kind of pieced through and kind of read between the lines on what cats are saying about him, there's a lot of negativity around Jonathan Majors. And it's going to come out in that trial. And it's going to become a huge news event. So, you know, I think Disney is already like, yeah, let's just wrap this thing up. Figure out something else to do. Then it starts talking about the November release of The Marvels, a sequel to the 2019 blockbuster Captain Marvel that has been plagued with lengthy reshoots and now appears likely to underwhelm at the box office. We talked all about that as well. Everything that is in this article we have discussed at one time or another. And yeah, The Marvels, it's just going to be a shitstorm. Nobody's coming to see this movie. I was talking to a friend just the other day. And I was bringing it up, say, hey, man, you know, I thought it was a joke. I was just joking with him. I said, hey, man, you going to check out The Marvels? He was like, what's that? I said, it's the next MCU film. It's coming out next week. He was like, they got another movie coming out? He had no idea about this thing. And he was like, well, what's it about? And I said, well, you know, it's Captain Marvel 2. Really, it's the sequel to Captain Marvel. He was like, not interested. Nobody cares about this, all right? The Captain Marvel was smoke and mirrors to begin with. Everybody knows that it is not the success everybody thinks it is, or the people that try to, you know, apologize for it. Oh, yeah, it made $1 billion. Yeah, that we already understand why it made $1 billion. It was right between Infinity War and Endgame. But nevertheless, this thing is going to absolutely tank in the box office. I think this is going to be probably the worst MCU film in the box office to date. With Iger publicly acknowledging the downsides of a Marvel TV glut that diluted focus and attention, the keepers of the comic book empire are considering some drastic moves. Sources say there have been talks to bring back the original gang for an Avengers movie. This would include reviving Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man and Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, both of whom were killed off in Endgame. Shouldn't be a stumbling block in the comics. Beloved characters are often killed off only to be resurrected thanks to the power of things like the multiverse. Yeah, that's not a problem, but it is. It's a very huge problem. It says here that the studio hasn't committed to the idea, but if it were to bring them back, it would be expensive because Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson, for that matter, they'd be like, oh yeah, you're going to pay me to get back in this joint. I doubt either one of them want to have anything left to do with Marvel. You know, like Scarlett Johansson had to sue Kevin Feige and Marvel and Disney for some of her money. I think Robert Downey Jr. has already chucked up the deuces. He says, yeah, I'm done. There ain't no reason for me to come back. But here's the thing that really pisses me off is that, wait a minute. So instead of actually course correcting and giving us a good movie with the good characters and good storylines, stuff that you can do, you're just going to bring back the original cast? Like that's your solution? That's the laziest thing I've ever heard of. But again, that tells you exactly where these cats are. No. Let's just throw Robert Downey Jr. back on the screen. Let's just throw Scarlett Johansson back on the screen. Let's do that. That, folks, will prove to you without a shadow of a doubt, these cats don't know what they're doing. They can no longer write stories. They're just going to play on your nostalgia, your feelings of nostalgia. That's what they're playing on. Member berries. They're going to throw that member berry card out on the screen so that you can, oh, okay, yeah, Iron Man. Yeah, I love this guy. Oh, yeah, you know, Hollywood's been doing that forever, right? They've been playing with your memories. They've been playing with the nostalgia so that you could go back. Ah, yeah, you remember how wonderful it was in the Infinity Saga? That's what they want to do. See, this is the type of shit that really gets to me. Because again, why not just tell an original story and write good characters and just invite people in like you did the last time? Instead of just going, do you remember Tony Stark? Well, here he is again. And you remember Black Widow? Here she is again. Remember the original Avengers? Don't you love those guys? That's what they're doing. And everybody would slurp it up. This is the thing that pisses me off because I know folks would slurp it up like crazy. But that's because they don't know what else to do. These guys are lost. These executives, right? These people are millionaires. I want you to consider this for a minute. All of these cats at Marvel, these Kevin Feige's and all of these cats, they're millionaires. They get paid millions of dollars to do this. And they can't even come up with something interesting that's new. They can't even put in the effort to do it. No. Let's just bring back Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson. That's what we're going to do. It's absolutely unconscionable. Why are we giving these people any money? Stop giving these cats money. They don't have any ideas. They seriously talked about that. Seriously talked about bringing back the original Avengers. 2 of them that they've killed off. Oh, well, we got the multiverse. We could just fix it. It's like Marvel can't even be bothered to do the basics when it comes to creating. You know, again, all the money that people feed this company, they can't even do the smallest little bit of creating. Oh, we did that in phase 4, and then you guys complained. You said we were woke. Well, yeah, because you caked it with agenda. You smothered it with ideology. Yeah, nobody's asking for that bullshit. Give us something that's entertaining. You don't know how to tell a story. That's obvious. You don't understand storytelling. And that's the biggest issue when it comes to Marvel. That's the biggest issue, honestly, when it comes to all of Hollywood. It's like, what's the name said? They just want to give you theme park rides. Who is that? Martin Scorsese. It's just theme park rides at this point. That's all they're doing. And listen, you can only ride a theme park ride so many times. Eventually, hey man, you know what? I got to do something else. I'm tired of riding the Colossus at Magic Mountain. Let me get off and let me go and ride something else. I'm sick and tired of this ride. You can only ride it so many times in a row. Eventually, what else do they got at this theme park? Because I'm sick and tired of this one ride. And that's basically what they're doing over there with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I mean, Martin Scorsese is kind of right. If you don't have any kind of creative ideas of what you can do, then yeah, pull the plug. You're done here. Yeah, look at this. The key to reinvigorating Marvel may lie with the superhero arsenal that Disney acquired in its 2019 purchase of 20th Century Fox, or 21st Century Fox. That deal brought several blue chip heroes such as the X-Men and Fantastic Four. Yeah, again, I said that from day fucking one. I said go straight into the Fantastic Four. Don't even hesitate. I know that y'all, oh yeah, man, we only purchased them in 2019. You know, it's going to take us a while to figure out what to do. Look, you guys knew you were purchasing this property. I would have had somebody working on scripts before that. Yeah, hey, start working on that Fantastic Four script. We're going to have this property lickety split. Go ahead and start working on that joint right now. Get that thing up and running. So by the time we get it, hey, we can go into production in 2020. Maybe by the end of 2021, we can have a film out there ready to go, or at least the beginning of 2022. They could have already had a Fantastic Four sequel in the works. You know what I mean? Like if they had just, hey, let's just jump right in. And then start telling little ancillary stories, you know, involving the X-Men. They got the X-Men as well. But they're slow walking it. They're still trying to do their own woke crap. MCU. Hey, we got to put all of these ladies and make them the superstars. And again, I don't have anything problematic with women superheroes. That's not the problem. The problem is that you decided that the ideology would come above the entertainment. So Marvel wants to push this stuff above the entertainment. And they thought they could get away with it. That's the crazy thing. They thought that they could just come in there and not tell good stories and just say, hey, you know what? They're going to come and watch Marvel anyway because we're Marvel. We built up these $2 billion movies. Endgame was almost $3 billion. Yeah, people are going to check for us because we're Marvel. See, that's the problem when you get too arrogant. That's why I said we're going to come back to this cocky one eventually. You get too arrogant and you start thinking your shit don't stink. And that's what it is with Marvel. It's like any other great empire. You always notice great empires, they never collapse except due to their own arrogance. They always collapse, implode, right? They always crumble from within. They self-destruct because of their own arrogance. It's the same thing with Marvel. Marvel got arrogant. They got arrogant. They thought, hey, you know what? We got this. We ain't even worried about it. That's what always happens to arrogant folks. leaders, rulers, empires, you name it. Like Palpatine, man, I was drawing a blank for a minute there. Palpatine from freaking Star Wars. Your overconfidence is your weakness, and your faith in your friends is yours. Yeah, true, but it nevertheless, the overconfidence. That's why he fell. Don't be cocky. Don't be overconfident. Don't be arrogant. Keep some humility about yourself. Listen to your audience. Listen to your fan base. You can't go wrong. Again, we've been talking about this on this channel, but yeah, that's where Marvel went wrong. And yeah, it's just great to see variety, just kind of breaking it all down. Read this article. It's very long, but I guarantee you'll absolutely love it because it's saying everything that we've been talking about on this channel for the last couple of years. Anyway, folks, you guys let me know what y'all think about this situation. I find the whole thing absolutely fascinating. It's going to be interesting to see if Marvel can course correct. I still think they got a better chance of fixing things than Star Wars does because they do have X-Men and Fantastic Four right here waiting in the wings, and they could get a lot done with those two properties. But yeah, it's going to take, you know, somebody that really wants to tell good creative stories and they're not just interested in ideology. Has Marvel pushed all the ideology out the window? I got a video coming up about Blade in a minute that I think gives a little bit of hope towards the end. The Blade situation is an absolute hot mess. I got a video coming up about that, but we'll see what happens with Marvel. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.